Greetings from Edu Aspirants, our YouTube channel to Aisse Academics, competitive exams, entrance exams, as also for enrichment of knowledge. In the series of our videos on practice question answers for class 10, this is a quick revision video on biology. What is the role of the kidneys in the human excretory system? The kidneys filter blood to remove waste products and excess substances, producing urine. The main functions of the kidneys are filtration, removing waste products like urea and excess salts, reabsorption, returning useful substances like water, glucose and amino acids back into the bloodstream. Secretion, removing additional waste from the blood, and excretion, the final urine is excreted through the urethra. So you have to remember filtration, reabsorption, secretion and excretion. 2. Explain the process of fertilization in humans. Fertilization in humans is the fusion of a male sperm cell and a female egg cell ovum to form a zygote. It occurs in the fallopian tube. Process. During sexual intercourse, sperms are deposited in the female reproductive tract. Sperms travel to the fallopian tube where they meet the egg. The sperm penetrates the egg and their nuclei fuse to form a zygote. The zygote then begins dividing and forms an embryo which eventually implants in the uterus for further development. What is inheritance? Explain Mendel's laws of inheritance. Mendel's laws of inheritance. Law of segregation. Each individual has two alleles for a trait, and these alleles separate during the formation of gametes, with each gamete receiving one allele. Law of independent assortment. Genes for different traits assort independently of one another during gamete formation. Law of dominance. In a pair of alleles, one allele may mask the expression of the other. So it is dominant versus recessive traits. Question 4. What are the different types of asexual reproduction? Asexual reproduction is the process of reproduction without the involvement of gametes. The types can be binary fission. One organism splits into two identical organisms, that is, for example, bacteria. Budding, a new organism grows from a bud on the parent, for example, Hydra. Fragmentation, the organism breaks into pieces, each of which develops into a new organism. For example, in starfish, spore formation, spores are released and grow into new individuals. For example, fungi and mosses. Question 5. Explain the process of human digestion. Human digestion involves breaking down food into simple molecules for absorption into the bloodstream. Process. Mouth. Food is chewed and mixed with saliva, contains enzymes like amylase. Esophagus. Food moves down through peristalsis movement to the stomach. Stomach. Gastric juices including hydrochloric acid and pepsin break down the proteins in the food. Next is small intestine, where most digestion occurs, aided by bile from the liver and pancreatic juices. Nutrients are absorbed into the blood. Then it moves to large intestine, where water and salts are absorbed and undigested food is prepared for excretion. Anus expels waste from the body. 6. What is the circulatory system? Explain its components. The circulatory system is responsible for the transport of nutrients, gases and waste products throughout the body. Components of the circulatory system: heart pumps blood through the vessels, blood vessels, arteries carry oxygenated blood away from the heart, veins carry deoxygenated blood towards the heart. Capillaries, small vessels where exchange of gases, nutrients and wastes occurs. Blood, composed of red blood cells, RBCs, white blood cells, WBCs, platelets and plasma. 7. What is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Aerobic respiration requires oxygen to produce energy, ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. The products are carbon dioxide, water and a large amount of energy. C6H12O6 plus 6O2 gives 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus energy. Anaerobic respiration occurs without oxygen producing energy, but only a small amount. The byproducts differ depending on the organism. In animals, C6H12O6 gives 2C3H6O3 plus energy. Lactic acid is produced. In yeast, C6H12O6 gives 2C2H5OH plus 2,6CO2 plus energy. Ethanol and carbon dioxide are produced. 8. What is the function of the human respiratory system? The primary function of the human respiratory system is to facilitate gas exchange. Oxygen is absorbed into the bloodstream and carbon dioxide is expelled from the body. Major organs involved are nose, that filters, moistens and warms the air. Then it's trachea, this is the windpipe which carries air to the lungs. Lungs, which is the main site for gaseous exchange, where oxygen enters the blood and carbon dioxide is removed. Then is the alveoli, tiny air sacs where the exchange of gases takes place. 9. Explain the structure of a typical plant cell. A plant cell consists of the following parts: cell wall, a rigid outer layer made of cellulose and provides structural support; cell membrane, a semi-permeable membrane that controls the movement of substances; nucleus contains genetic material and controls cell activities; chloroplasts contain chlorophyll for photosynthesis; cytoplasm, gel-like substance where various cell organelles are suspended; vacuole, large central vacuole filled with cell sap providing turgidity to the cell; and mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell that generates energy. 10. What is photosynthesis? Write the process and its significance. Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants and some other organisms use sunlight to synthesize foods, mainly glucose, from carbon dioxide and water. It takes place in the chloroplasts, primarily in the leaves. Processes: 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus light energy gives C6H12O6 plus 6O2. Significance: it is the primary source of energy for all organisms. It helps in maintaining the oxygen balance in the atmosphere. This brings us to the end of the video on biology. These were important questions with their answers. Subscribe, like, share and do press the bell icon for updates on the next videos. Share with your friends who are appearing in class 10 board exams from other schools of the CBSE board. Keep revising.